English Senior Newspeed Speech of the Minister of Law and Justice in the Joint Conference of Chief Minister of States and Chief Justice of High Courts on 24th April 2016. It is a pleasure and privilege to welcome the Honorable Prime Minister of India and the Honorable Chief Justice of India to this joint conference. I extend my warm welcome to the distinguished judges of the Supreme Court, Chief Ministers, Chief Justices of the High Courts, and other destinators also who have joined us today to deliberate upon the pressing issues facing the justice delivery system in the country. The fact that this conference is being held within a span of 1 year after the last conference reflects the commitment of the government and the judiciary to move ahead at a faster pace towards providing timely, affordable, and quality justice to the citizens of this great nation. I would like to thank the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Sri Justice T.S. Dagur, for wholeheartedly supporting us in this initiative. The High Courts and the state governments have a major role to play in the development of judicial administration in the states. Recognizing this fact, a landmark resolution was adopted in the last conference wherein it was decided that the Chief Justices of the High Courts and the Chief Ministers of the states would institute a mechanism for regular interaction against themselves to resolve the issues relating to infrastructure and manpower needs and facilities for the judiciary. I am sure that in most of the states such a mechanism has already been instituted, and this conference would provide us the perfect opportunity to deliberate upon ways and means to take this initiative forward. As per information available with us, the central government and the state governments have together spent on average a sum of about rupees 2000 crore per annum during the last 3 years on development of judicial infrastructure. I am glad to inform this August gathering that the overall availability of the court halls now matches the working strength of around 16,000 judges, judicial officers in the subordinate judiciary. With a number of projects in hand, we are aiming at 20,000 court halls in the near future to match the availability with sanctioned strength in every state. While notable progress has been made and judicial infrastructure front, the same cannot be said about availability of judicial manpower. Despite considerable increase in the sanctioned strength of the high courts and the district courts in the recent past, the persistence of a large number of vacancies of judges and judicial officers is an area of concern. I would urge the high courts to adopt a proactive approach in selection of the suitable candidates for various judicial positions. As you are aware, the protected nature of litigation in the country has an adverse impact on investor sentiments. In order to assess these concerns and as part of the government's continuous efforts to forge investor friendly environment in the country, the government has initiated a number of steps including setting up of commercial courts and amendments to arbitration and conciliation act 1996 and the negotiable instrument act 1881. These initiatives are intrinsically linked to speeding up the dispute resolution processes both with the formal court system as well as under alternative dispute resolution mechanism. Concerns regarding the inordinate delays in the conclusion of the criminal trials have been expressed by various parliamentary committees. Dear Sars, the government has over the years established expert committees to review the criminal justice system in order to make it more responsive to the needs of the society. Some of the recommendations of these committees have been implemented and legislative provisions incorporated in the procedural laws. However, legislative reforms alone are not sufficient. Reforms in policing and investigate mechanisms are as important as reforms in court processes. Law Commission of India is now reviewing both substantive and procedural aspects of our criminal justice system. I have requested the Chairman Law Commission to expedite their recommendations in this regard. As per data compiled by the National Crime Records Bureau at the end of 2014, there were about 2.82 lakh under trial prisoners in the jails, which constituted two-thirds of the total inmates. Yours truly.